Good morning, Facebook. Thank you so much for joining. And just give us 2 minutes for this video to become visible. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. I'm just trying to make sure that we share this video. Good morning. Give us a moment. Okay. Okay, great. This video is here now. Okay. So I have it on your page now, Boye.
All right, great.
Yes. Okay. Good morning, guys. Thank you so much for joining, and let us know where you're joining us from this morning. Okay. Perfect. Good morning and welcome. Guys, coming in and just let us know where you're joining us from. It's so good to have you in the house. Come in and give us a quick wave, give us a thumbs up. Let us know where you're joining from. Start up a watch party on your page. I am so excited that you made out time to be here. We're going to have fun. I don't know if you've seen the topic of today, but I am so excited because I have the best person to be talking about this topic in the house. So I don't know if you're as excited as I am. So welcome. I can see a lot of people coming in. Welcome, Alisa. It's great to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome, Esther. Thank you for joining. Janet, it's great to have you. Izay, is great to have you. Bola, is great to have you. Bayer, is great to have you. Thank you so much. Stella, it's great to have you. Esther, is great to have you. Olu, is great to have you. Thank you so much for joining us. You are very welcome. It's the Civilized Presence. You are in the right place at the right time. It's a Monday morning at 8:06 a.m. I am here every Mondays and Fridays at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Now, you might be asking, what is the Civilized Presence? It's an online TV session where lives are changed, where people discover their self, purpose, and voice, and of course, learn social skills to thrive in the real world. So if you want to become a change maker, you are in the right place. Guys, come on in, come on in. I know people are still asking me, where is the video? Yes, the video is on my page. I cannot take questions. I can see it coming in on my screen, but the video is on my page. And it's so good to have you here, Lisa. Thank you so much for making our time to be here. I'm so excited to see you. Now, some of you are here for the first time. My name is Louisa Akaiso, and I'm going to be your host for today. I feel so honored that you responded to the call, to my posts on Facebook, Instagram. I don't know how you got here. Did you see it on your friend's page? Someone invited you? Welcome. Oh, you just stumbled on the video? Welcome. You are here on replay? Welcome. Are you on YouTube? Welcome. I'm excited to have you here. Now, I'm a certified master civility trainer and a leadership coach and trainer with the John Maxwell team. And I work confidently with leaders and professionals that place great importance in themselves and their reputation. And of course, that's going to be you this morning because you made out time to be here. So thank you so much. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your love. Without you, the show will not go on. So it means so much to me that you're always here to hang out with me. So thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you again. Now, if it's your first time, the goal of this Facebook series or Instagram series, depending on where you're finding my video, is to help restore civility through meaningful and constructive conversations in our society. And really, I've been doing this not on my own, but I've been working with different experts and professionals and leaders from all over the world, really trying to break down the concept of civility into tiny bits for you to understand how easy it is, but important for you to be civil. And if you've been here with me before, I always say that it's as easy as saying please and thank you. Oh, good morning. Some of you have never said good morning to your neighbors. Now, if you've never done that before, it's not too late. Right after the session, try and do that. Of course, they're going to give you a weird look because you've never done that before, but of course, it will begin a conversation. So, and you can also share a compliment, just like I'm going to do this morning, that Mr. Boye, I'm so happy to have you here this morning. Thank you so much for making out time. So, guys, let me share a definition of civility because I don't want to assume that you might know what civility is. And I've chosen one from Dr. P.F. Funny. I love him so much. He left us a couple of months ago, but I call him the grandfather of civility. And this states that being civil means being constantly aware of others and weaving restraint, respect, and consideration into this very fabric of awareness. So, of course, civility is focused on positive people's treatment. Civility is gracious goodness, treating others the way that you want to be treated. Maybe you want to think about the golden rule. It's all about being responsible to continuously ease the experience of everyone around you. Apologize earnestly if you have to, and refrain from idle complaints. So, if you hang out with me every Mondays and Fridays, you would learn different definitions of civility, and I hope that you are able to go away from this session with something. Now, today is session number 110, 110. We started this last year in the month of April, and we've been paddling along, and I'm so grateful that we're here today. So, of course, the topic of today, some of you might have seen it, some of you might have not, is succeeding with appearance in business and career, in your career. So, what does your appearance or the way that you look say about you? You're going to find that out this morning. It's such an interesting topic and a topic that I'm very passionate about. Being an image consultant, I'm so passionate about this topic. And, really to teach people or show you how it's so important for us to pay attention to our appearance, because sometimes we have people saying things like, "Oh, I love to be simple. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be over the top. I'm just my personality is different." Guys, there is something for everyone, and that's what you're going to learn today. So you might be asking, who is the expert today? His name is Boye Falonipe. And Boye is an image consultant, he's an author, and a member of Workforce Group faculty, a conference speaker, seminar facilitator, astute administrator, and personal performance coach. He is also the principal consultant at Noor Enhancement, a soft skills corporate image and performance coaching firm in Lagos, Nigeria, where he trains and consults for individuals and corporate clients on building and sustaining an effective image, one that increases their personal presence and improves public perception. He produces and directs Image Plus with Boye, a special online series which gives daily doses of vital personal image and performance improving tips. Mr. Boye is a member of International Association of Professional Image Consultants, IAPC, and he is the first associate of the Institute of Image Training and Testing International in Africa, IITTI, the world's ISO for soft skills certification. His audience includes top executive, mid-level managers, clerical staffs, hotel workers, job seekers, undergraduates, and even the ever boisterous teenagers, all of whom have been imparted with the treasured art of perception management, image enhancement, and performance improvement. Mr. Boye is the chairman of the Nigerian Dream Group at TND and a board member of other impactful nonprofit organizations, including GAAP Orphanage Foundation, the Alpha Club. So join me, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome Mr. Boye. Mr. Boye, I'm going to give you a minute to say hello to the audience. Over to you, Mr. Boye.
Hello and thank you, Louisa. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you very much for this opportunity to be able to have this good time with people on your show. I want to say hello to everybody from wherever you're joining in. We're all members of one body, the human race. We should be kind to ourselves. We should be good to ourselves. God has created us to be interdependent, to share the things we have. So today I'm going to share some knowledge that I have Maybe some things that you know as well, but it's time for us to reinforce what you know. So I'm happy to be here. And congratulations, Louisa. It's a 110th episode. That's amazing. That's amazing. And then one of
Thank
these days
you.
we're celebrating 300 and 500. Then you would know what you really have done to the world. It's a little bit of this
Absolutely.
effect that will change the world. So I am grateful. I celebrate what you do. Thank
Thank you so much, Mr. Boye, and welcome, Patty. Welcome, Teresa. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome, Sharon. It's so great to have you. Now, if you're just getting here, welcome. I don't know if you've seen the topic of today, but I'm just going to repeat it back to you. The topic of today is how to succeed with your appearance in business and in your career. And I'm going to be having a chat with Boye Falonipe. Now, Boye, this takes me to our first question. Of course, you're a returning guest, so you know how this works. Just get started with the questions and begin the conversation. My first question for you would be, what does civility mean to you? Over to you, Boye.
you. All right. Well, you see, for us to succeed and live in this world, I think we just have to live and let other people live. That's the basics of civility. Living and letting other people live. Living in such a way that you enjoy your life, and while you are enjoying your life, you're not impeding on the rights, the space, the property, the comfort of every other person. So this could play out in different scenarios and in different places. In your home, with your spouse, are you civil enough to your spouse? Can you help her to do things? Can you help him to do things? Are you saying things or saying words that would build their self-esteem and not pull them down? Do you use the things that belongs to your husband and then you keep it in a good condition? Not just because he's your husband, but because he's also a human being and is coming back to use it. Now, do you want to take things from your children and you say, please, can I have it, or you just grab it from them? Things like this start from home. They say charity begins at home. So learning civility is about learning first to live with your family members, sharing the same space. Sometimes you live in a one-bedroom apartment, and you need to share that space in such a way that everybody enjoys and looks forward to coming home. Having that mentation of civility makes you someone that people want to come to, they want to stay with. If you're in a bus with a lot of people, you just shove your way through and just grab the first seat that you find, or you ensure that other people are comfortable too while you are being comfortable. When you get on the queue, you just want to jump right to the front, or you maintain the queue so that there is order and civility in the entire place. It's about living and letting other people live, essentially.
Thank you so much, Mr. Boye. I love that. Living and letting others live and just being kind and really making that a lifestyle. Because when we talk about civility, I want you guys to know that I'm not encouraging you to be civil on Monday because you're spending time with me. And then on Tuesday, you're going around being crazy. But we're trying to get you to a point where you can embrace this as a lifestyle and just get used to doing it. It's not just going to happen. I'm not saying that civility is something that is easy. Civility is pretty much very complex. That simply means that we have to be intentional about being civil. And this is going to take me to our next question, Mr. Boye. I'm so excited about our topic for today. Now, so let's, I'm just so excited, and it's so great to have someone of like minds be in the room with you. So the
Yeah.
very first, where we're going to begin this conversation from is first impression, the power of first impression. Now, when we talk about dressing and your appearance, how does your appearance affect the impression that you make or you leave in the hearts of people? And how important is first impression? Over to you, Mr. Boyer.
Okay. Let me start by this quote by Oscar Wilde. He said, "It is only shallow people who don't judge appearance. It is only shallow people who don't judge appearance." You know why he calls them shallow people? Because they are lazy to glean up the bits of information that they can find on people and then be able to make an assessment or judgment about them. It's not every time that you get to speak with people, hear the things that they have to say, hear their experiences. It's not every time that people go about with their credentials and then they start flashing it, or their badges and they start flashing it at you. But what they flash at you is their presence, their appearance, their courage. So that's your moving credential all the time. So if you move about with such credential, why wouldn't you take the time to always make it good? Now, the fact about impression is that if you get it wrong the first time, it takes a whole lot to build it back. Statistically or scientifically, the research that if the first impression is wrong, it takes about 16 other encounters for you to correct that first impression. Because the person who's meeting you for the first time believes that's just you. You weren't prepared to meet me, so this is you. So this is who I need to believe that you are. Every other encounter after a wrong first impression would seem like you're trying to pull the wool over his face or her face, as the case may be. But if you make the right first impression the first time, you know the interesting thing or the converse thing to that is that every other encounter that you have that is wrong, there is a halo effect brought about from the very good first impression and can spark other encounters. So the person just starts making an excuse for you that no, this is the person I met. This is the person I believe this person is. So first impression is really, really so crucial. And it could happen everywhere. It could happen anywhere, at the store, in the office, at the gas station, and the train station. So are you prepared for that very first impression time? The moment you meet anybody, what happens is that there's a file that's opened up in their head where your credentials, they begin to store your credentials from there, right? First impression can happen in as little as 7 seconds. As little as 7 seconds. I was reading this book by Malcolm Gladwell. I think it's a blink. Yeah, blink. That's the title, blink. In the blink of an eye, people make judgments about you. And you know what? It's so interesting that the judgment you can make in the blink of an eye could be better trusted, more accurate than the judgment you get to make when you have seen that person or used that person for a very long time. Because the adaptive subconscious, because you have information, you have preconceived templates about how people should be in a particular industry, how people should react in a particular culture and setting. So once I meet you and you're not conforming with that, then I make my judgment about you. So there is a way you should look as a responsible medical doctor. There is a way you should look as a responsible banker. There is a way you should look as a responsible entertainer. So the moment you're not conforming with this, I begin to make a judgment of you. And it determines if I want to see you again, if I want to interact with you again, or if I am not going to. So
thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Boye. I just love that comment. And I can see more people coming. Just come into the box and say a quick hello, just so that I can be able to shout out your name as the VIP that you are. Thank you for being here this morning. The conversation continues and why your presence is so important to your career. Now, this takes me to our next question, Mr. Boye. Now, I understand that there is an art and science of dressing, and of course, or your appearance.
Yeah.
You know, even though a lot of people talk about, oh, I don't want to be overdressed, or people, sometimes I hear comments like, this is just who I am. This is how I want to show up. I want to be comfortable. Now, when we talk about dressing here, and of course, I want my audience to really be able to understand what it takes to put your appearance together. What is the art and science? Can you talk more about the art and science of dressing and the effect of, dressing or your appearance on your confidence or your personality or your productivity? Over to you, Mr. Boye.
Fantastic. You know what? If you think appearance is not important, let me give you a challenge. If you think appearance is not important, go blindfolded for 2 days. Just walk around blindfolded for 2 days. Now, see how frustrating that would be. God has given us eyes so that we can appreciate the beauty around us. And He has so designed us to gravitate towards beauty and move away from horror.
Mm.
You gravitate to beauty, you move away from horror. So, it will be doing yourself a great disservice if you decide to look horrible, sharp, and you'll be doing yourself a lot of good if you decide to look great and beautiful. Let me give you, ask your mind back. There was a point when every one of us was in the elementary school or the primary school, like we call it here. There used to be that guy, that little boy or that little girl who was the teacher's favorite. You know, he's always the one getting the attention. He's always the one getting treated fairly. He's always the one having the time to do whatever he likes. Why? Because there is something about the child. There's something about that child. Maybe he was looking neat, respectful, element of dignity about that child. It's important that we look
We're kind of losing you a little bit. We're kind of
okay.
losing you. Can you stay
Can you
close to
hear
the?
me now?
Yeah. Yes,
Can you
it's
hear
a
me?
lot better now. Yes.
Oh, it's fantastic. You know, so it's doing yourself a whole lot of service if you decide to look good. There is a science to looking good. When you see beautiful things, or when you look good yourself, there are hormones that get released in your body that makes you work better, that makes you feel better, that makes you happy and genuinely excited about life. And you need that confidence, you need that energy flowing within you to be able to achieve whatever you want to achieve on a daily basis. Now, when you go to work fantastically dressed, smelling good, bouncing properly, you start getting compliments from the gate man. When you walk to the receptionist says, "Hey, you look great." You get to the elevator, someone's telling you, "You look great," or "You smell nice." From that moment, you begin to pick the elements and pieces of energy that will make you run through that day successfully. But that energy now, you might have not spoken to that. There's a part for self-motivation, internal motivation, when you say great things to yourself and you feel good about yourself. That's from inside out. There's also that part that comes from outside in. There are times when your head is dropped about life. You're just not confident about life. And then someone tells you something good about yourself, tells you about the strength that you have. Then you begin to see this thing, then it picks you up again. It buoys you. It makes you float. It makes you levitate. And then you can do things for yourself. Colors, the colors that you wear, they're very important as well. You know why? Because color is energy. And this is where the science comes in. Color is energy. Color is energy from light. The light that falls into our eyes goes into a part of our brain called the hypothalamus. So there are colors that you wear, there's the way you dress that brings energy to other people. You dress bad, you dress shabbily, then there's no energy with you and with people around you. Now there is an art to dressing well. Let me compare a fine dresser to an artist. An artist takes a canvas, the white canvas, the black canvas, and it begins to paint on the canvas. It begins to put colors on the canvas. He's aiming to make it look great and impressive at the end of the day. Number one, so that he can show his skills, and then number two, so that he can sell the product. So you are an artist as well as a fine dresser. Your body is a canvas that you have. Every time you get up in the morning, just look at yourself as trying to paint a very colorful image on yourself. Select the items you're wearing with caution. Select them with some consciousness. All right. Select them to get results. Select the color that you want to wear to get results. For instance, you're gonna have a meeting where you need to demonstrate some confidence. You need to project some power and confidence. All right. What color are you supposed to wear? Do you think it's coincidence that President Trump usually wears a red tie? No, it's not coincidence. You know, he, he knows the effect of a red tie. He knows that it speaks of power. He knows that it speaks of confidence. So he will wear it most of the time. Okay. If you're going to address an irate mob, a group of protesters who are angry, and you need to really bring them, calm them down. Now, if you choose to wear red on such occasions, then you might be shooting yourself in the foot because you might just aggravate them more. How about wearing colors like a gray, like a green, something a little milder and earthy? If you want to go and play with children, you want to have fun with children, why don't you wear things like yellow, orange, something that brings up energy in the room? Okay, so there is a science to it, and there is an art to it as well. Whatever the artist is painting on his canvas is hoping to attract value to that particular product. So, what value are you attracting to yourself with the way that you dress? My question to you is this today: if you were a product, if you are a product, are you going to be a product that kings will buy or corporates will buy? And it depends on how you package yourself or how you present yourself for the business, for the meeting, for that interview, for that sales pitch. So I don't know if I've covered enough for you there, but let me open this.
Absolutely. That is great, of course. And that's going to take us to the next question. And welcome, Louisa from Canada. It's great to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's such a great conversation, and I'm so excited. I'm really trying to hold myself back from talking, but that's fine. We have a guest for today who is dealing with this, and he's an expert in this field, very well known for the impeccable work that he does in Africa and with people all over the world. And thank you so much, Mr. Boye. Now, it's going to take me to my next question for you. Now, you're talking about dressing and the power of dressing and the art and science and just wearing the right thing for the right place at the right time, because that's so important, wearing the right thing for the right place and at the right time.
Yeah.
Because in as much as you want to dress to certain things that you cannot wear in the morning, I hope, even though these days people kind of switch it around, especially the younger generation, tend to wear things that are supposed to be for midnight during the day. But I want to believe that we have to try to get them more and informed about what is appropriate. Now, I'm going to talk about, or I want you to talk about the feet. Because when we talk about dressing here, I just don't want anyone to just jump into the store and pick up clothes that do not fit. Now, I want you to talk about how important the feet and the fabric with the body shape and the personality, how all of this must work hand in hand. So, for example, a lot of people are guilty of just walking into the store and picking up what's on the mannequin. I always say, you're not the mannequin. Honey, you cannot wear the same thing with a mannequin. It could look great on the mannequin, but it's going to look silly on you.
Yeah.
So I want you to be able to speak, about that to our audience. And over to you, Mr. Boye.
All right. The first thing I want everybody who's listening and watching today to do is look at yourself and appreciate yourself. Look at
We're losing you. We're losing you.
You hear me?
Okay.
I hear me now.
Yes.
Look at yourself and appreciate yourself. Look at your figure, look at your frame, appreciate it. There is nobody that has it all together. Everybody has an asset on their body, and everybody has flaws. That's the way God has created it, But what you should do to dress great, number one, accentuate your assets. Number two, minimize your flaws. Accentuate your assets, minimize your flaws. Some people have great arms, right? So what you want to wear is something that shows that that arm is beautiful. Okay? Some people have lovely legs. So what you want to wear is something that draws some attention to those lovely legs of yours. Some people have very beautiful shape, the bust line, the hips. You want to wear something that accentuates it, and not something. Now, you need to know your size. The first place to dress in for fit is that you need to know what size you have, for heaven's sake. From time to time, I know it changes. Maybe you lose a few pounds. within 6 months, or you add a few pounds, and some clothes you used to have that used to fit you doesn't fit you anymore, then you need to know what your size is. When you know your size, then you can go into the store and buy your size. Let me give you an instance here. Men who just go into the store and just pick up jackets or suits, especially from off the rack stores. Uh, I wear a size 48, a chest 48 of a jacket. This is chest 48 of a jacket. All right, but I'm medium height. Now I have someone who's much taller than me who wears a size 48 chest, but he's much taller than me. So when he's going to wear the jacket, he's going to ride up his sleeves. All right, and then the base of it's going to ride up his buttock. So it begins to look funny on him. So you need to know your own size. And it's not all the time that you get to pick up the rack. Yeah, there are bespoke fashion designers and tailors who can make you wonderful, wonderful jackets. So dress for your frame, dress to fit your frame all the time. You can wear a Giorgio Armani suit that's $1,000, and my own suit may just be $100 or $200, but it fits me more. I would always command a better presence than you who's wearing $1,000, $2,000 suit, but it looks like you're wearing a sack or you're wearing a body hug. All right. So the fit could take a lot from your appearance, and it could add a whole lot to it as well. For ladies, if you have a bust line that's big, why would you not always wear something that's yellow and flashy? Because bright colors make things look bigger. You wear something that so it makes that receipt, it minimizes it a little bit. If you're fat and you're plump and you're wearing clothes with horizontal patterns, it makes you spread more to the side, when you should be wearing things that are vertical and makes you look taller rather than wider. Little tips like that. Fabric is also very important, especially for business occasions. Especially for business occasions, you want to wear things that are matte in nature, somber, not shiny, not flamboyant, because the truth is, what you want to do in a business situation is you want to enhance communication as much as possible. So anything that gets in the way of communication then becomes a hindrance, no matter how beautiful it is. Okay, if you're wearing glasses, earrings that are long, big, and dangling, then when I'm talking to you, I'm not hearing what you're saying. All I'm hearing is the jingle jangle of the earrings that you're wearing. All right. So you want to, especially in business, you want to keep it modest, you want to keep it simple, but you also want to keep it elegant. I can know the value or your status by looking at you, by just checking your accessories. So it doesn't have to be so flamboyant. I can look at a few things. I can look at your shoes and the quality of your shoes and know, hey man, this person really wants something, without you wearing something shiny that's in my face. So color is important, size is important, pattern is important, all right, and of course your feet is also very, very important. There is this formula developed by Antonio Centeno. He's a very popular online stylist. He says your appearance, or how good you look, function of fabric, the occasion, fit, fabric, and the occasion. Let me give you an instance here very quickly. Let's do a bit of mathematics. Can we do that? Okay. Now
Yes, absolutely.
grab a pen, right? Now, let's say to get a 1,000 score on my appearance, the cloth must fit me. I must have a 10 of 10. It fits me. The fabric must be good. Fabric includes, okay, the texture of the fabric, how it's sewn is also part of fabric. I must have a 10 out of 10. That gives me 100. And I must be wearing it for the right occasion. For the right occasion. So if I'm going for a black tie event, and then I wear, let's say, a bright blue jacket, all right, and I'm wearing a yellow tie. It might look good on me. It might be stone work, but I've worn it for the wrong occasion. Okay, so that gives me a 0 on function. So I have it multiplied by 10, multiplied by 0, and it becomes 0. Okay, So now I could be wearing the right clothes for the right occasion. I have 10 black suit, black tie for a black tie event. All right. It
Mm,
might fit me well. It might fit me well. Okay. But I could have then the fabric very, very wrong. So that
mm,
gives me zero. Okay. So it has to be fitting. It has to be the right fabric, and it has to be for the right occasion. 10, 10, 10. Fit, function, and fabric to have a
mm.
thousand.
Thank you so much, Mr. Boyer. I love that that you were able to break that down because this is so important. The fit is so important. The fit, the fabric, the finishing. It's very important. And dressing well and your appearance is not all about being expensive. Like Mr. Boyer has just expressed to us this morning, it's not about being expensive. You can put on an outfit that is $10 and look like $1 million just because it's the right fit. You're putting on the right fabric. It's the right fit for your body. It has the right finishing. And you're wearing it for the right occasion or function, like he just explained. And you can put on an outfit that is $1 million and look like crap. So it's not all about money when we talk about appearance. And that's something that scares people away. When you talk about wearing your best outfit, looking your best part, putting your best foot forward, people get frightened and they're like, oh no, I don't want to spend too much money on my looks. No,
Mhm.
well, it's not about how much money that you spent. You have learned this morning. It's about the fit, the fabric, the colors, the finishing, the function that makes up the right appearance. And this takes me to my next question for you, Mr. Boyer. And welcome, Joel, Jose. It's good to have you. Thank you so much for joining. It takes us to the next question for you. Now, Mr. Boyer, um, there's a popular saying of dress how you want to be addressed.
Mhm.
And sometimes people say that dressing appropriately can break limitations, or the right presence can either open the door for you or shut it down for you when
Yeah.
it comes to opportunities. So I would love you to speak more about that. We were just having a chat this morning, you and I, and just say that we better put as your presence is your new business card.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I find that people will spend money to go and print out a business card and not think about themselves and not think about honing a polished image. Now, your image and your presence right now is your new business card.
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest with you, it doesn't matter how beautiful your card is and how much that you've written on your card and how many great things that you have to say. If your appearance is crap, I'm going to chuck your card in the garbage just
Exactly.
right after I left you. I'm even going to forget your card.
Yeah.
But, and of course, think about it. It's not just about me. You think about it, you at home, think about it. When you receive a card, when you meet somebody who looks the part, when you meet somebody who has a powerful presence, you even ask them for their cards. You
Yeah.
don't even wait for them to give it to you. You ask
Yeah.
them, like, oh, can I have your card?
Yeah.
Because you want to be associated with this person. That's the image of the person that you want to hang around with. That's the person you want to have in your network. So you go out and even ask.
Yeah.
But when you do not look the part, when you do not seem like you know what you're doing, you
Mhm.
might offer your card and someone says, "Oh no, never mind. You take my card. I'll be in touch with you." So, Mr. Boyer, I want you to speak about that on how we should dress how we want to be addressed. First off, and the second part is how our appearance can break limitations, can open doors for us, and how our presence is really our new business card. Over to you, Mr. Boyer.
Fantastic. It's interesting when I'm having this kind of conversation with someone like you, because we just be oscillating on the same wavelength, and I'm sure that the audience they're great deal. Let me start with this. It is God, only God, who doesn't judge by appearance. Human beings do judge by appearance. Now, it is not your place to determine how other human beings. Why are they judging me by my looks? No, that's the way they're wired. It's just simple as that. In the instruction on the Facebook page,
We're losing you. We're losing you for a minute.
hear me. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Yes.
Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yes.
In introduction, and I apologize that the video is getting dark. I'm using daylight and it just got a bit cloudy. I think it wants to rain. So please
Okay.
let's just along together. Just enjoy my voice, okay?
That's fine.
All right. Okay. So in the introduction that we had on Facebook, I talked about a concept called lookism. Lookism. You've heard about racism, sexism, and these are words that describe forms of discrimination. Now we see racism, sexism play out every day. All right. I mean, we get angry at it. But do you know that you also do some form of discrimination because you get to judge people by the way that they appear? And it's called lookism. It happens every day. If the value that you place on yourself most times is displayed from how you dress.
Mm.
Now, take care of yourself. If you don't show me that you love yourself, if you don't show me that you respect yourself, if you don't show me that you can spend the money to love upon yourself, why do you expect me to show the same? Why do you expect me to honor you? Why do you expect me to give you space and my attention? So you are right when you say that your appearance is now,
No, we're losing you again. We're losing you again.
can you hear me? Are you
Okay.
still hearing me? Are
I
you
can
still
hear you. I can hear you now.
okay? Fantastic. So you are right when you said that appearance is a new business card. If I see you and you look good, all right, and eventually we have a nice conversation, I'm not going to forget the image that I see.
Mm.
2 days, 3 days down the line, and I want to meet with you again. Let me
Mm.
do this with a very short story that someone told me about what happened to him. He's a friend of mine. He works with ExxonMobil. Usually, when he's making his official trips, he's booked on first class. So this
Mm.
day he goes to the airport. And he's wearing just jeans and t-shirt, and he was carrying a backpack, a first class ticket, and then he walks towards the desk, and the attendant told him, "Excuse me, sir, please line up here. This is where you're supposed to line up." She was pointing him to the class queue.
Mm.
Please, you have to line up here. And the guy, before he responded to the woman, he was a bit shocked. But before he responded angrily, he knew that something was happening. So he wanted to know exactly what was happening. There was something for him to research there. So he went and met the woman. "Sorry, why did you ask me to line up there? I have a first class ticket." And the woman
Mm.
said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. You shouldn't be there. It's just the way you were looking. Oh, please, over there." Then she started according him the respect and the attention that a first class ticket holder should have. Now, imagine. Now, this is real life. It happened. Why did it happen? Because of the way the man was dressed. Simple.
Mm.
Give you another story. Stories have a way of driving home the point. I'll give you another story, and it happened to me and my brother-in-law. He came over. We're supposed to travel to a city called Ilorin in Nigeria. He came over from Abuja to meet. I mean, from Abuja to Lagos to meet me, and I was supposed to fly from Lagos to Ilorin. So on that day, now he's a fine dresser too. He wore his power suit. He had his hair shaving. He's always having this clean shave all over. And of course, I'm an image consultant. I know how to dress the part. Okay, so both of us were looking great and sharp. Now, when we got to the airport, we got to the security queue where they were, supposed to check us through the machine, and we were right at the back of the queue. One of the security men came up. We were holding briefcases, looking like serious businessmen. One of the security women came and said, "Please, sirs, please come onto the front, from the very back." And then she took us past another place, and we didn't go through the machine. And you know, when you have to go through the machine, you have to take off your shoes, take off your belt. He felt like we were not people who should be treated that way, and we went past it. So that drives home the point. We dress the way that we wanted to be addressed. So I hope those stories illustrate it enough.
Yes, absolutely. I love that. And thank you so much for sharing that. And guys, I'm going to share something with you that research has shown us that, of course, effective communication is made up of verbal and nonverbal. And I'm saying this because, sometimes we're so concerned about the things that we want to say, but we do not focus on the how to say it and our looks. We just think that's not important. So the things that we want to say, which of course is the verbal communication, makes up only 7% of an effective communicator. 7% alone. And 93% makes up the nonverbal. Now, when you look at the nonverbal, you have the appearance, you have the body language. And so this is why it's so important for us to pay attention to the way that we look. So I want to believe that, the points that we've shared, Mr. Boyer has been so great in just articulating how important it is for us to look the part. I want to believe that you have been able to learn something. You have been able to gain some nuggets, and that's going to help you in taking things more seriously when it comes to your appearance. So if you're one of those people who would just wake up and just go, please try to take some time. Something happened recently on social media. I don't know how many of you had seen it, and I think that was on Instagram. And I think a school in Chicago, there was an incident in a school in Chicago where some parents were dropping off the kids and they had their turbans and they had their hair rolls, and some of them just woke up with their sleeping wear to drop off their kids. And so one of the mayors, put it out there and put out a bill against parents being allowed, or women being allowed, to drop off their kids in sleeping wears, in their turbans. And so it triggered a conversation. And believe it or not, I was so shocked to see people have an argument about this. And this is very interesting. It's a topic that I'm very passionate about. And so I decided to go and just look to see what the comments were. And some people were so blind to think that the mayor was discriminating the women. That was the first thing. I thought that was interesting. We had crazy comments like, why shouldn't he allow the women to cover their head? Ma'am, that's not the point. Okay, I cover my head all the time. I love to cover my head. I'm of African descent. I enjoy wearing turban. In fact, I always say that every time that I wear turban, that's when I have it triggers conversation, and that's when I have the most people want to speak to me. I don't know why. I mean, people ask me about the turban and the art of the turban and why did you do this and this looks beautiful and all of that. So there's nothing wrong with wearing a turban. But you have to make sure that you're wearing the turban for the right place at the right time and wearing it with the right outfit. So you cannot, if you need to put yourself on the other side of the table. If you are a proprietor or a principal of a school, would you love to see a parent walking with a sleeping wear? Like, are you serious? And a lot of people do that. And it's very concerning, you know, and I think that it's very disrespectful, if you ask me. If the teachers have taken the pain to look neat and be presentable and open up the school to receive your kids, I think that you yourself should be able to do something. I'm not saying you have to put on a blazer or whatever, but something that I always educate my clients about? I encourage my clients to have different kind of blazers. Why? Because when you're traveling, even though people feel that when they're traveling, they can just wake up and go, I encourage my clients that when you're traveling, have that simple blazer that you can put on a jeans and a t-shirt, but put the blazer on top of it. Because as soon as you put the blazer on top of it, what does it do? It gives you that power look. It makes people want to meet you. It makes people want to connect with you. But if you just wake up from home and just scruffy looking and get to the airplane and jump on in, nobody wants to meet you. Well, I don't want to meet you. And I'm sure you feel the same way too. So it's not about dressing expensively. If you know you're going to drop off the kids, have this simple, very simple, cheap, affordable blazer that you have. You can put on a t-shirt. You can put on a jeans. If you're a stay-at-home mom, that's okay. What is important is to be neat. At least pack your hair nicely. At least wash your face before you go to school. And so we had this conversation online, and people were arguing blindly. And before we know it, a lot of people said, "Oh no, this was discrimination against the women. Oh, he's being so nasty." And some people said it's discrimination against people of color. And I'm thinking, what? It is not discrimination against people of color. I wear headgears, I wear turbans, but I have to know how to put it on. I can put on a turban on a Monday morning and still look the part, but
Yeah.
I need to know how to put it on. So there's an art and science to dressing your part. It's not about being expensive. It's not about saying that we have to throw away everything out of your closet, but you can actually create the looks even from the things that you already have. And that's why you want to be able to hire and work with experts like Boyer, like myself, like people who are passionate to doing this, who have been trained and certified to do this, to help you create that powerful image that you're looking for without spending too much money. So, guys, I know that we've come to the end of the session. I'm so excited that Boya, you were able to make it here today. I'm so excited that we had to work together. It's always such an honor to have you in the house. And guys, I remember that I told you that for the month of July, we're going to get started with a book study. And that's not changing. I do not have a copy of the Civilized Leader because over the weekend on Friday, I had an event downtown, and of course, all of my books were bought. Thanks to God for that. So I only have a copy of True Civility, and this book is forwarded by Dr. Rivers, Dr. Clyde Rivers, who is the U.S. ambassador to Burundi. And you might want to grab a copy. But our book study is going to be on the Civilized Leader. My book, The Civilized Leader, you can grab it from Amazon. So just type in my name on Amazon and you'll be able to grab a copy so that you can follow along. Because I know I've had many people asking me for our lunch hour sessions. And during the lunch hour sessions, what we do is have the book study. And welcome, Thomas. It's great to have you, Thomas James. It's so good to have you in the house. So if you are just joining us, yes, it's the Civilized Presence. We're here every Mondays and Fridays at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. And the conversation for today was how to succeed with your appearance in your business or in your career. So if you're just joining us, I hate to say that you're late to the party, but you can have access to this video on my page. I'm going to have it later on today on Instagram, on YouTube, and join the conversation. Put in your comments. What are your questions? Bring it on, and I'll pass it on to the expert. We're happy to work with you. If you're struggling with your wardrobe and creating that powerful and polished image, let us know. We're happy to help you. Whatever questions that you have, whatever comments that you have, if you want to come on our show as a guest and you believe that your message is in alignment with what we do, send me an email at Louisa at thecivilityacademy.com. Louisa at thecivilityacademy.com. I hate to let you go, but we are at the top of the hour, and most importantly, I have to be civil so that Mr. Boyer can come back another time. So I want to say thank you so much, Mr. Boyer, for being here. I enjoyed working with you, and we look forward to seeing you again. Thank you, and have yourself a wonderful rest of the day and week. Bye for now.
Bye bye. Thank you.